Miami, give a big round of applause and bring up our cast of Attack on Titan. There we go. All right.
What's up?
Hello, everyone.
Start introducing yourselves.
You want to start?
Oh, sure. My name is Ashley Burch, and I play Sasha Braus, a.k.a. Potato Girl. Thank you. I love you, too.
My name is Josh Grelle, and I play the narrator and Armin Arlert.
My name is Trina Nishimura, and I play Mikasa Akerman.
Hello, I'm David Matrenga, and I play Bertolds.
Woo! Bertold! Yeah!
Everybody having fun?
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, so what we're looking for is for a line of questions right up this aisle over here, if you guys assemble. I'm really expecting people in uniform to have some kind of a question.
And if you're wearing a uniform, you must give us a salute after each question.
Oh, it's totally
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
If you'd like, I think Josh can go over the salute. He taught me very well in Boston. Go over the salute, man.
Yeah. the
I
salute.
want to learn this too.
You have to learn the salute.
I would like this,
All right,
too,
stand
actually.
up. All right, everybody stand up.
Everybody up!
A salute. Just don't do it so hard you crack a rib.
That's a mistake.
Right fist over your heart. Left fist behind your back. For the king.
For the king.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I feel we're all closer now.
We are. That's a great opening. All right, well, now we've got a great line of questions, so let's just run right into this. What is your question, dear?
Hi, this is for Trina, who's Mikasa, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering, in the Japanese version of Attack on Titan, Mikasa is portrayed very blunt and very deadpan. And I'm not sure if it was the adapted script or your personal interpretation of her, but for me, the English dub version came off a bit more kind of soft and a little more emotional. And I was wondering if that was from the westernized adapted script, which would fit a more Western audience that tends to look more for emotion, or whether you personally thought that was more Mikasa for you.
What's your name, kitten?
Karina?
Hi, Karina. Thank
there.
you. Thank you for that question. That is an excellent question that I have been dying for someone to ask. There has been a lot of criticism because of exactly that. Personally, my interpretation of Mikasa and the trajectory of her character from a young child into like a preteen and into a teen, I wanted to be able to grow with her and grow her naturally. So if let's say, spoiler alert, if you're a child and you're super sweet and innocent, and then something as traumatic and dramatic and life-altering as what happened to her happens to you, like you wouldn't just immediately become deadpan, you know? In my opinion of Mikasa and her character, her depth and her solitude and her strength is personified in her voice. But you're not just born into the world like, oh, I have had such a hard life, I'm 2, you know? It's something that I wanted to grow, and that Mike McFarland was sweet enough to help me to explore. We did try to stay closer, but I was lucky enough to be able to have some artistic license.
Okay. Can I ask one for Josh, or is that not? Is that...
You can come back around to the line.
Sure, awesome. I'll do that.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Yeah, if anybody has two
Thank you.
questions, just go right back around on the line.
Oh, hi. Okay. Sorry.
Hi.
Hello.
I like your outfit.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm shaking right now.
Don't shake. Don't be nervous. We all poop. All of us. We all poop.
Yes.
I'm pooping right now. No, I'm not.
I can smell it.
Okay. How long have you guys been voice acting?
Sir, I've been, actually, as of January this year, it's been 10 years since I started. I started in January of '04.
Woo!
Never thought it would go this long, but it's been awesome.
Mine, oh man, I can't remember when Borderlands 2 was a thing. It's been like 2 or 3 years-ish.
That's awesome. I remember when you showed up, so over 10 years? Sometime before the new studio?
Well, I didn't I didn't start with Funimation until like '07, I think.
Cool.
So I started in
Kenichi, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kenichi, right?
Kenichi.
Yeah, for me, it's been about, I think, 12 years or so. With Funimation, just about 4. But yeah, about 12 years now. I'm like 65 years old. I've just had a lot of work done.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name
What's
is
up?
Roger Estrada.
Hi, Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Hi, Roger Estrada.
Oh my god.
It's all good. Take your time.
I'm sorry. Don't be nervous.
I mean, you guys are great. Why
You're
shouldn't
great.
I be nervous? Oh my god. Okay. My question is, what was your first thought when you first heard of Attack on Titan? Like, just in general, or even when you first got the script or something?
The way that it was first brought up to me was my roommate, Sarah Sullivan, who used to work for Funimation and is also just a huge anime fan. She said, okay, have you heard of Attack on Titan yet? I was like, no. It's like, you should really check it out. And then she walked away. And so I just kind of had to let my imagination flow. And so I thought, the first thing in my mind was, Attack on Titan. Maybe it's like a space action thing. Like maybe it's attacking the moon of Titan, like we're fighting the Jovians or something. This is going to be awesome. Not at all what I thought. When I saw the first episode, that was how I was introduced to the entire franchise. I didn't get to see any of the manga or anything prior. I just saw the first episode. And by the time the epic theme song hit, I was already hooked.
About the theme song, also did Mike McFarlane was our director, and one of the first things he said when we recorded the first episode was that, like, doesn't the Attack on Titan theme kind of sound like I don't think you're ready for this jelly, like the Beyonce song. Sorry, I just thought that was really funny.
That's awesome.
I had a similar thing. I have friends that are a bit more into anime than I am, and they were like, "Have you heard of Attack on Titan?" And I was like, "Nope." And but I would see all of these awesome cosplays around when I would go to conventions. I'm like, "What is that from?" And then I watched the first episode, and I was horrified and intrigued.
Much like the two of them, I actually found out about Attack on Titan from my brother. And my brother is the coolest guy ever in the whole universe. Sorry, you're cool too. But he told me about Attack on Titan, and so I started to look into it a little bit, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I hope we get the show, I hope we get the show, I hope we get the show! And then we did. And so I stopped watching it because I don't want to spoil anything. And then had I not been cast, then I would have like marathoned it, like in that weird way where your friend has to come over and be like, Trina, it's time to bathe, you know?
That happened to me twice with season 1.
Yeah, for me, the first time I heard about it was when Mike asked me to audition for it. And then typically when I don't know something, I go to my friend. Do you guys know Andrew Love? So I go to my friend Andrew Love, who just kind of knows everything. And he told me about the story and what it was about. And then I went and did some research. And I was really intrigued by all of it. The concepts, the idea of these, you know, humans living behind these walls and everything's been peaceful for 100 years, that whole thing. And then when I auditioned for it, you know, Mike called me and he's like, listen, I really want you to be a part of this. It's a small role that we don't know who he is in the first, 2 seasons. Are you up for it? And I was like, totally, let's do it. So yeah, I was into it from the beginning, but I didn't know about it before auditioning for it.
Ask a question. Yes, thank you.
Do the scream, Josh.
I can't, man.
Do it!
I'm not doing this.
Do the scream!
Ask him again on the last day, and then we'll see how his voice is.
Yeah, it's like I have to talk to people all weekend long. I'd rather not when people want to ask me a question be like, yeah, that's cool.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that your like characteristic thing in this show is you screaming bloody murder. I'm so sorry.
It was fun to do.
Yeah.
But we did like doing that particular scream. It was like 3 takes. The first one was just gut-wrenching and throat-ripping, and then he was like, okay, that was awesome. I don't want you to have to do this too many more times, but can we have a little bit more like really freaking out? And then I think the second one was the one that we ended up going with for the show. But yeah, it's been crazy. I love the stuff that's happened online associated with the Scream, like the big Tumblr thing that happened.
Yes!
Which, for those who,
I love
and
the
people have
Tumblr.
asked this, and I will go ahead and just confirm it now. The shopping cart story, like Aaron pushing Armin down the shopping cart, is based on a true story. I was an idiot when I was in high school, and a lot of friends of mine decided that, living in a small town in Texas where we were bored most of the time, let's just film our own jackass stunts. And so I got in a shopping cart, and they pushed me down the hill, and then they lost control of the shopping cart while I was going down this hill. And so a scream that apparently sounded much like Armin screaming came out at that point. And some friends of mine that were there ended up sharing that with Tumblr, and now it's everywhere.
That's neat.
Yay. Fine, I'll do the scream.
Yeah!
Hang on. All right.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the microphone way up here. All right.
Grab the booty, take hold.
Do what?
Grab the booty, take hold.
I don't know what that means.
All right. I don't know either. I'm gonna hold my chair and take hold. There we go.
Everyone say thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And more importantly, there's always somebody that shows up late for the Q&A that will ask for it again.
It's not happening.
You all have to turn to that person and say, it's been done.
You guys got it. They missed out.
All right. Hi. I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
Don't be. They're just people.
I know. I was wondering, how did you get casted for Attack on Titan? Like, did you choose to go for it, or were you like chosen from the people who,
Well, Mike McFarland, who is also an accomplished voice actor, was the director, and we all just knew him prior. And so he reached out to me. I'm assuming it was a similar thing. It was like, I want you to audition for this show. And so you audition for, I think, pretty much any role that's within your gender. And then he kind of decides what he thinks you'll be best for.
Yeah, they sort of send you typically like 4 or 5, maybe 6 or 7 of the big roles, and then the way I do, I'm based in Houston, and so he invited me to audition. I record it from my home studio. I'll choose different roles that I, want to read for, and then he'll sort of take all of those files, all those auditions, and choose who he thinks you're best for, and sort of offer you that role. So that's how it worked for me.
Yeah, and usually that's about the way that it works with any audition, especially at Funimation. Is usually you're booked. Either Tara Williams, the talent coordinator, will contact you directly, or to contact your agent. And you come in, and they have the sides at the front desk. You just look over them. You pick 3 characters tops that you think that you might be able to do, and then you go in and you do them. And it takes about 15 minutes, and then you wait for like a week or 2.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All of that.
All of
the
that.
same thing.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we get a salute? That was an
Nice.
awesome salute. Very
That was.
crisp.
Chris. Yeah, like you're stabbing yourself.
Is there really gonna be a season 2 of Attack on Titan?
I hope so. As far as we know, it should already. As far as we know, it's in production. I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I know that there was supposed to be some sort of like little OVA thing that they were going to do. That I think was based off the Chibi comics.
Aren't they so cute? I love them.
I know, I love
the
the little Chibi
guys
comics.
With the big heads.
Yep.
And I like cheap.
But as far as season 2 goes, I don't know if anything is set in stone or not. But I'm considering what's been going on with the show and how popular. I would be very surprised if there wasn't one. So be on the lookout.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
What's been your favorite part so far to voice act?
In the show or just in general?
No, in the show.
Armin's impassioned speech in episode 10 was my favorite part to record. That was the scene that made me fall in love with the character and be like, that's who I want to play. So.
Sasha's super fun because she's one of 2 comedic relief characters in this like soul-crushing show. So it's really fun to be the character that's just being goofy and like trying to lighten the mood and giving all the viewers a respite from from him screaming. And it was really cool because when I think the first episode with Sasha aired, the Potato Girl hashtag trended on Twitter, which is pretty sweet. So
Heck yeah.
yeah.
I love Sasha. I think she is the funniest character ever.
Oh, thank you.
She's so cute. When I went in to read, Mike was like, "Who do you want to read for?" I was like, "The potato one, the one that eats all the time." He was like, "Okay." So, but my favorite moment to work on Attack on Titan would probably be the backstory part where Eren and I first meet, and all of the dramatic and horrific things that happen, and make Mikasa, but make Mikasa into like this tough, strong warrior. I think that's really neat. I think any sort of dynamic between Eren, Armin, and Mikasa, and that relationship is always really neat. Is that good? I'm an actor. You need to give me some sort of like you're good, you're okay.
Well, that's a kind of an easy question for me. My character in the first season is basically in, I think, like 3 episodes maybe, and he's a really kind of quiet, shy, sort of not in the spotlight guy. So really, it was all the stuff that I did, which was maybe like 10, 12 lines. But the reason it was my favorite is because the character's so sort of mysterious. You don't know what he's thinking or what's happening, and Mike was great in sort of getting a really nuanced read from that. So I'm looking forward to what's coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question for Sasha.
Yes.
Hey Ash, what you playing?
Hey, you. Right now I'm playing Shovel Knight, actually, which
good
is
game.
playable over there, and it's great, and you should go play it. I didn't know it was going to be here.
Yeah.
It's great. Go play it.
Right. Papa Burch for president, y'all.
He would drive this country into the ground.
What do you guys think about Armin being the narrator?
What do we think about Armin being the narrator? I think it's pretty cool, or at least, for me, from my standpoint, it's like, it's like, well, obviously he survives long enough to tell the story, so sweet.
I hadn't even considered that we could die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You never know. No one is safe.
Have you guys thought about maybe Armin's the last one alive and he's telling the story?
I did have that moment where I thought, what if he's the only survivor? This is just like, this is him writing it down in a book, and he's just narrating like, this is what happened. This is how humanity became to be extinct.
I would love to see a narration of Sasha that's just a supercut of all the time she ate. And like people are dying in the background, but that's not really the focus. She's like, man, this sandwich, you know what I'm saying?
Thursday, ate a potato.
Wah! Someone's like falling off a cliff.
Okay, hi.
Oh, you didn't do the salute.
Hello.
You gotta do the salute. Who did?
Where'd you go?
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, my question is, have you guys caught up on the manga, or do you have do you know the spoilers, like the big ones, especially you, Bert?
I've had a few of the things spoiled for me, just for because Facebook. But I've approached this show the same way that I've approached Game of Thrones. Like I got so invested in the show first that I'd rather wait for the show to come instead of doing the manga or reading the books. So I don't know anything that happens after the episodes that we've recorded.
And please don't tell us.
Yes.
Yeah, please don't tell us.
Spoil it. I've already had enough spoilers.
I read a little bit farther, just a tiny bit, and then as soon as I found out some stuff, I stopped because yeah. So yes and no, I guess is my answer to that. I read some stuff where I was like, holy wow, I'm gonna turn this off now. So yeah, because and the reason I feel like, I mean, for me, you just don't want to know exactly what's gonna happen because you don't want to play that before it's there,
That's
so
true.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I was wondering, the characters that you're not playing, who is your favorite out of the whole entire anime?
Sasha.
Sasha Braus.
Sasha Braus.
Also, the drill sergeant, Patrick Seitz character.
Yeah.
Patrick
The drill
rocks
sergeant's
that
really
role,
funny.
man.
So good.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Because in real life, Patrick is like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. And I didn't know who he played on the show until the premiere in Boston. And I was like, hey, Patrick, when are you coming on? He was like, that's me right now. I was like, because he's just so cuddly and cute.
You got a favorite?
Yeah, no, I don't really have a good answer to that question, really. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For actually, little quick geek moment then. Who here knows Hitalia or World of Warcraft? Okay, World of Warcraft and Hitalia fans. The guy who plays Patrick Seitz, you know, the drill sergeant, he's the voice of Garrosh Hellscream in World of Warcraft, and he's also the voice of Germany. So let those imaginations flow the next time you watch that episode.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
For Sasha, what do you think when they first called you Potato Girl?
I loved it. And I love potatoes. Sasha and I have a lot in common.
Potatoes and bread.
Thank you for the salute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here, by the way.
Thank you.
guys
Hey,
are
we're glad to be
amazing.
here. Thanks
Thank you for being here.
No problem. Have to come. As far as the characters go, do you guys feel like they share similarities in personality traits, or did you guys find, as the characters developed, any similarities in the personality traits that you guys carry in yourselves? For example, I'm sorry, Ashley.
No.
Sasha, like, her character to me exemplifies like optimism, because even through all these things, like, she sees happiness in like the simplest of things, like food. So anything like that else?
Yeah, well, the things about Sasha, like I said, I empathize with Sasha's constant need and desire for food, because I also share that. And there's actually this moment in one of the episodes that I actually really loved, where she's just freaking out and Mikasa's not, and she's like, "You need to be freaking out. Why are you not freaking out?" And I think in that position I probably would have been doing the same thing. But it's also nice because she's also still really strong and like a really good fighter. But yeah, so the moments where she wants to eat and the moments where she's freaked out are the moments that I most relate to Sasha, probably.
Where are you going? I'm going. You go? Me go? Me? You?
Ladies
I'm
first.
talking. Ladies first, Josh. God! I would, to bring it to a slightly more serious note, I think that I relate to Mikasa the most because of who she is as an anime character and as a female. When I started at Funimation and when I started voice acting, gender roles were very different. And there would never have been a girl that A, was a better fighter than a boy, and B, had some sort of, something to bring to the table other than, like, So I've been a tomboy the majority of my life and hung out with lots of dudes, and so, like, I've always had some sort of weird complex as, like, I'm as big as you are, and I can do whatever you want to do, and I can do it better, So I certainly relate in that and my bloodlust and rage.
Armin, I think a lot of people can identify with Armin. I certainly do, especially early on. He's for the majority of the first half of the series so far. He suffers from a very huge lack of self-esteem or self-respect. He sees himself as a burden to his friends because he's not as strong as them, or that he can't defend himself. They have to defend him, but he wants so badly to be able to stand up and defend them for a change or do something like that, that he doesn't see his own worth. But they do, and going through that journey with him, and seeing him realize, and that moment that he does, where his confidence just kind of skyrockets, like he stands up from his this little pit of self-loathing, and just he soars, and it was really, really cool to see and very uplifting.
Woo! Yeah, I think that the characters that I really can relate to and really get into are have the same traits that we all relate to. Just sort of the human flaws that we have, the insecurities, the lack of confidence, the, not fully believing in yourself, being scared. The thing that was interesting to me about Bertolt, and I tend to get cast in roles that are introspective, questioning, unsure, there's or that have a sort of an emotional side to them. And so, yeah, I mean, I can really relate to him from that perspective. I mean, for me, the idea of, it talks about he was a great warrior at one point and in the infantry, and he has he can use the 3D gear better than anybody. And then you see him and he's sort of cowering and profusely sweating and like sitting in the background and doesn't have a lot to say. And the interesting thing to me is what happened to him. What happened to him?
He's like a tormented soul.
Yeah, he really is. And he's so tormented about, this seeming like mission that he might have and his friends and the loyalty and where that lies. And I think I think life challenges us, all of us in that way, in some way. So I can really relate to that.
Thank you.
It's interesting because Michael Tatum, who is the lead writer for the show, for the adaptation, and also plays Ervin Smith, in the extra features, the documentary that's on one of the discs, at the very end, he talks about how the story, or at least the world of Titan and the walls, can be taken as I guess an allegory of the walls that we put around ourselves in daily life, and the characters like the Scout Regiment and Mikasa and Aaron and Armin are portrayed as noble and are like the people look up to the Scout Regiment a lot of the time, because they are the people that dare to go beyond those walls, to go past the walls that we hide ourselves behind and step out into the world and face it. And it's really cool stuff.
Yes. Those are the perfect answers, by the way.
That's a great question. Thanks.
Oh, no problem. I was thinking about it for a while. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a great question.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Ash. I thought you were a perfect fit for Sasha. I was
Thank
just
you.
wondering, you're welcome, if you think Sasha actually has a chance at surviving.
Man, I hope so. Wouldn't that be the saddest scene?
Yeah, she's a
Don't say anything, please, because I will be I don't want to hear, I don't want to know until I have to do it, and then if I have to do it, hopefully not. I mean, she's one of the really skilled fighters in the show, right? Like, that's one of the funny things about her, is that she's so silly, but she's actually like really badass. Exactly. So I really hope so. Maybe it's just her and Armin at the end of the world, and Armin's super annoyed by that.
Will you stop eating all of our food?
Rations.
I can just see, like, what if a Titan actually does eat her and then it vomits because she's so filled with carbs already?
Yeah. Fat Titan.
It's like she just comes out, like, they're not going to be able to eat her. Sasha will be alive forever.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Ashley. I love Hey Ash, what you're playing.
Thank you.
Who do you think has a bigger appetite, Sasha or the Titans?
Sasha.
Sasha.
Actually, they should just send Sasha out, and she would probably eat all the Titans.
I know, right? They should make a.
That's how it's gonna end. I predict. That's the ending of the show. It just suddenly becomes Benny Hill, out of nowhere.
Thank you.
Daniel, what's up, man?
Oh, hi.
Hey, dude.
Hey again. First of all, I just want to make the salute right here.
Nice.
Sir?
And I just have a question for the four of you. It's just that do you see any historical themes or anything, or philosophical themes that relate to the real world in Attack on Titan?
Well, what you touched on just now is, I think, really
very
relevant to that.
philosophical, yeah.
And also, I mean, the cool thing about Attack on Titan too is that you get, I mean, it's never explicitly stated, maybe, but all of the characters hiding behind the wall are of different nationalities. Like Mika says, one of the only Japanese folks, I think, left. It seems to suggest.
Right.
And it's kind of cool just to see all these people of these different nationalities that have had to band together because there's a larger threat. So in a weird way, it's like almost more, even though it's so horrific, it's like almost more peaceful than our current world because people from different nationalities can actually work together.
I think we're constantly bombarded in the world with news and about the threat that we're under. We're always under a threat. Like, even, all the time. You go watch CNN, there's some type of threat. That terrorism, whatever it is, the weather, we're always under some type of threat. And so I think I think that there is a certain human reaction to that, which is to let's protect ourselves. Let's come together and figure out how to withstand what's against us, whatever it is. The thing that's crazy is we don't ever really know what it is. We get told what's, and that's kind of how the Titans are. We don't know what they are, or where they came from, and why did they resurface. And so this idea of building these walls, I think, in a way, is very analogous to, all the shows that we're into right now are about a group of people trying to protect themselves from some outside force. So, and that's what we do. Our government tries to get us to. I mean, I think there's a lot of actual sort of political analogies that you can make about it. Like, let's protect ourselves. Let's wall ourselves up in this. And the question kind of, for me, and I'll just leave it at that because I could talk forever about this, but is that really protecting yourself?
Right. Or is that just running away?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, are you protecting or just postponing?
Do you? Was there anything that you've seen? In it?
It would take forever.
Okay.
Did you have a thing, Trina?
To kind of combine all three, I think that some really awesome parallels between Attack on Titan and real life, and one of the most interesting to me would be the class and caste system, and the protection that allows you, and the value the value of your life in relation to financial whatever, and the fact that the heroes, the people that the story revolves around are all from the outer wall. Like none of them are in the interior, and they're all, the lowest caste and the lowest class, if you will, are the ones that are fighting and are the ones that will save the day, and they're the ones that aren't hiding behind a government or behind, whatever. Like, these are all just kids. Exactly. They're all just kids that are out there, and they're fighting for something that's greater than themselves. And when you look at history and you look at politics and you look at the revolutions that have changed our world, that have afforded us, I mean, not to get a little political, but it is the 4th of July. If you look at the people that fought for us and that have actually put themselves out there, they're not the Bill Gates of the world, although he does give a lot of money to charity, and I appreciate that. They're the people that are your neighbors. They're the people that are the veteran on the corner. Like, these are the people that matter, and these are the people that change the world, not the higher ups. It's the lower downs, and I think that is a really romantic thing. America!
Happy 4th.
Thank you. Oh yeah, by the way, I know about your Pirate Armin comment on the commentary.
Pirate Armin?
Didn't you mention that on the commentary?
Maybe I did. I remember we were making like pirate jokes at some point in the end.
I like pirate.
Yar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great question.
A couple of people have asked, so can we plug which booth number are you guys doing your signings or your meet and greet at?
It's actually right over there.
Just over
Where the line is from. The ones that are just general autograph sessions. It's the ones right over there.
Yeah,
so,
these, like,
in fact,
curtains.
we'll all be 3 of us will be over
I'll
there.
be over there too, I think.
Oh, you will? All right, cool. So all of us will be over there right after this is done.
Attack on Titan. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Damara.
Hi, Damara.
Hi, Damara.
Hello.
So I have a question for you all. If you yourselves lived in the Attack on Titan universe, which regiment would you join?
The committing suicide regiment.
I would try to get a desk job.
Live in the interior with a desk job.
You don't want to fight for human life, humankind?
You're asking us to reveal who we really are with this question.
Of course.
We want to know how horrible you are as people.
Somewhere in that universe, there's a theater or television station, and it would need voiceover actors.
Yes.
I don't know about television station, but there would be theater. I'll do that. There you go. I'm pretty sure my soul, wherever I ended up, whatever world, I'd be trying to be on stage. So I'd end up eating at some point, I'm sure.
Or there's probably like a medic section, right? Like, maybe I would do that. Or I would kill myself, more likely, probably.
I'm right there. Like my zombie apocalypse plan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
The zombies, great.
I'm Japanese.
You know,
Can I be
as
the
much as I'd like to be like, this amazing warrior guy, I don't think anyone really wants me on the front line. Yeah. So I try to go into some type of intelligence. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Which seems like I think I'm smart, I guess. Anyway, that's what I would do.
I want to be a part of the regiment that's in charge of guarding the food stores in the
Yeah,
pier.
that's the one. That's the moneymaker.
Thank you for your morbid answers.
Thank you for the question.
It's a morbid world.
Yes, it is.
Hello, I'm also Ashley, and I have a question for Ashley Burch.
Whoa, hey.
Yay.
How does it feel transitioning from Hey Ash, what you playing to video game and anime voice acting?
It's really awesome. I said this at the other panel, so I'm sorry if there's bleed over and I'm wasting all of your time. I've played video games since I was a kid, and when I was young, I didn't know that voice actors were a thing. I didn't know that you could go into a booth and record. Like when I watched Rugrats, I wasn't like, clearly these are all people. I was like, clearly these are babies, yay! And so I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time when I was a kid. Yeah. And in that game, whenever you're introduced to a character, there's a little subtitle that comes up that says their name and then another name. So it was like Solid Snake, David Hayter. And I was like, who's David Hayter? Is that like his actual name and Solid Snake is his code name? And I was like, I found out, I can't remember how. I was like, oh, that's his voice actor? Holy crap. So actually, even before we did Hey Ash, I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to be Solid Snake. Wow, my voice echoes crazy in this. Sorry.
Isn't it amazing?
It's crazy. I'm God. No, I'm not. So I've always wanted to do it, and I mean, Hey Ash is so cartoonish that it was kind of like not that, it's not that much of a leap. But yeah, it's kind of been my end goal, so it's pretty sweet.
Right. Thank you.
Rock on.
How's it going?
Good.
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. By the way, before I ask my question, I want to say, Ashley Burch, I loved you in Borderlands 2. You were awesome as Tiny Tina.
Thank you very much.
All right. So my question, and I'm probably going to get a lot of cheers and laughter for this. If you were in the Attack on Titan universe, which character out of all the ones you've seen would you want to get together with, like, in a romantic sense? This I have to hear.
Huh.
Sasha, I guess. Well, they're all, how old are they?
Yeah, are you asking, like, us personally or our characters? Like, who would our characters get in a relationship
You
with?
personally, and they're suddenly all 18 years old, so there's no crime here.
Okay.
All right.
I was like, aren't they all like kind of babies for a while? The drill sergeant. I'm sure there's fan fiction of like Sasha and that dude boning after that or something. There has to be.
So you like carbohydrates?
I'm gonna go with Levi.
I also go with Levi. Trina told me I should.
I'd probably just have a weird relationship with one of the Titans. I don't know. Yeah. Like right on his back and stuff. I don't know. That's too much. It's
They
too
don't
much.
have genitalia though, so.
Exactly. Hence the weird relationship.
A non-sexual, purely emotional.
Ooh, I totally have a good question, if you don't mind. Why is it that the male Titans don't have any reproductive organs, but the female Titan has boobs?
Oh.
I can actually answer that.
Oh, good.
Go for it.
The thing is that what happens is that the Titan shifters, they all have special forms.
Oh, wait.
Are you gonna don't?
There's really nothing. It's
this
right
a spoiler?
there.
Is
No,
it a spoiler?
it's not a spoiler.
Oh.
It's not
Okay,
a spoiler. I mean, because if you look at Aaron's Titan, obviously, it looks different than the rest of them. So what happens is that because, the female Titan is a Titan shifter, she's actually a human, then her characteristics herself is reflected within her Titan character. Whereas the other ones are all generic because they've been Titans for so long that they lost all sense of personality.
Excellent answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
No wonder.
Did
no
you
worries.
say who you would get with?
Yeah, I was waiting on him.
Oh, sorry. Aaron's mom.
Yes. Yes.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a dark panel.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I was wondering,
when you guys saw it for the first time, how did you all feel when Eren got eaten?
I immediately was just like, I need to take a break.
I have not seen that, actually. I don't know if Sasha's not around for that part, so I didn't see that part, actually. So I feel sad now.
Sorry. So what Sasha is saying, what Ashley is saying is, whenever we record just our individual scenes, right? So I saw the scene because I wanted to see it, and whatever. And when I saw, like, in the whole, like, he's pulling you out of the mouth, and I'm like, leave him in there, it's fine. And then his arm and everything, it was rough. It was a little rough. Because you're also, like, in the booth, and you're like, I'm totally, like, his sister and might be in love with him. I don't know. And so you have this emotional connection, and then he gets eaten, and you're stuck with, like, the whiny guy, and you're like, darn it. That's it.
Yeah, I have the same answer as Ash. I haven't seen that, but I would imagine that I think shock would come to mind. Yeah, that's what I would feel.
Do they only give you the stories one episode at a time, or was it at least confirmed you were still employed next week?
You sort of record, like, Sasha's a very small character, so I got, like, all of her stuff done in, like, a couple of sessions. Because she just kind of pops in and is like, hey, I'm still here, and I like food, and then she pops out. So I got, like, I've seen a few episodes, but I haven't gotten that far in the series, so I didn't know that was going to happen.
You know, you have to make it a point to go back and watch it, and depending on, you know, the time to do that. But yeah, you only see what you're doing at the time. So
yeah. When you're dubbing for anime, you're always coming in one at a time, one actor at a time, one character at a time, unless you're playing multiple characters. And so the director's job at that point is to through the session give you what it is your character knows and the context of the scene, and then, you know, just keep going. There's rarely a time before it's actually all completed that we will get to see the finished product with everybody in it. Like, we only get to see that once the DVD is released. So the only way to see it beforehand, it would be to watch it, like, on the simulcasting whenever Funimation puts those up. And sometimes they don't, but thankfully in the case of Titan, they already had it up, so it was available to watch and research ahead of time.
Yeah.
But
in that same vein too, if you're recording your character early on in the recording process, you're hearing only Japanese. If you're recording at the end, you've got other English voice actors there with you. So there's a difference too. It's really, I think it's interesting to note that I think anime, recording of anime in many ways is a director-centric medium. Like, the director, their ability to communicate to you what's happened, what's going to happen, where you are in any given moment is really crucial to do your job. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the sleep.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Now this is a question for Ashley.
Hi.
Hi. Do you enjoy potatoes as much as Sasha does?
I don't think anyone enjoys anything as much as Sasha enjoys potatoes. But I get close. I do really love potatoes. Mashed potatoes specifically
Fair
are
enough.
very good.
Thank you.
How do you like your mashed potatoes? Fully loaded?
I like my mashed potatoes Herbie fully loaded. What does that mean? Is that butter and stuff?
Like butter, bacon bits, chives, cheese.
Oh, that's a Texas thing.
Oh, that is a Texas
that's
thing.
a Texas thing. I like butter and cheese and junk.
All right, cool.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
This is for all of you. Did you hear of Attack on Titan before you were called down to dub it?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's kind of a phenomenon. So.
I hadn't heard of it.
Then the three of you, how did you feel that you were being called down to dub it?
Well, when we got the call for the audition, it was just kind of like, oh God, and you know, going through the audition process, and it was just completely wigging out and just trying not to get overly excited after the audition, but then, you know, finding out that I had been cast. Actually, when I went up to the studio the day to start recording the show, they had not told me who I was cast as. I had just been booked for the hours. So I go up there not knowing at all what I was about to do, and then Mike McFarlane, director, comes and finds me. I was outside talking to some of the other directors and some friends of mine, and he comes up and like, "Hey, there you are. Have you heard?" And I was like, "No, not heard what?" And he said, "Okay, awesome. I'm glad I get to tell you. You're playing Armin." And I was outside the building, you know, in front of the whatever. I can swear they could hear me in the booths because I just kind of went, "Yes!" Just started freaking out.
Yeah, I was really excited because I have a few friends that watch Attack on Titan and really like it. And I hadn't seen it at that point. But I also, so when I was younger, I watched anything that was on Toonami, like anything. I watched it just ad nauseum. I love Toonami and I love Cartoon Network. And when Mike told me, he's like, yeah, it's gonna be on Adult Swim, I was like, it's gonna what? Because that was like, that's what I just, like I watched Big O and I watched like Samurai Champloo. Like when I was a kid, I would just stay up and watch Adult Swim. So I was like, that was crazy for me. That was like a really, like little Ashley was like,
Yeah, the moment that Tom did his first introduction for the show, I had a huge fanboy moment, man. Just
so
like,
cool.
oh, it's Tom. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
First of all, I would just want to say hi. It's awesome meeting you guys.
Hello.
And I kind of wanted to ask a random question. Who do you think would win in a fight, Asuna or Mikasa?
Mikasa?
Mikasa.
Dodoy.
Okay. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hey guys, I have 2 questions. One is, what is your standpoint on the anime being so dark and despairing, and how did that impact you guys in regards to the show?
That's pretty cool. It's one of those shows. This is one of those the few shows, especially in terms of anime, that has ever actually inspired real living terror in me while watching it. So that was something that going in to record, I was like, I felt very what's the word I'm looking for? I was nervous isn't really the right word. I guess concerned that I might not be able to capture the real darkness of the show. I really wanted to be able to preserve that with the character. So going into it, it really just made me super focused and really work my butt off in order to. And working with Mike was really cool because he's one of those directors that when he brings people in, he does it because he knows that they can give him what they want, but he also knows that he can push them farther. And he pushed me in directions that I never thought that I could go as an actor and a performer, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I feel like we should just I don't know, he's not here, but give a round of applause for Mike
Yeah,
McFarlane, the
seriously.
director. He's not here, but just for I don't know, he'll feel it in Texas maybe.
Oh, he's in LA for the Dragon Ball.
Oh, that's right, in LA. It has to travel quite far, so clap throughout the day. Yeah, it's so dark. I remember watching the first episode and being like, I don't know if I can handle this show. Like when Aaron's mom, the thing with Aaron's mom, and it's slow-mo and zoomed in, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle this show. It's so dark. And I remember there's one scene where it's one of the few moments of maybe we're gonna be all right. I think Aaron might even say something close to that, and then the huge Titan just, and I was like, this fucking show, man. They'd all had a moment, and Sasha did this funny thing, and everyone was laughing, and everything was fine, and then it was just really, it was intense to record, and I didn't you guys have such emotional scenes, and Sasha doesn't really for the most part, but I could just feel it, even though I was the funny character the entire time. It's just oh my god, just knowing everything that's surrounding her scenes is crazy.
I think to go back to the question earlier, for me, recording the show and the parallels that are drawn between the Titan world and the real world. For example, the scene where Mikasa her parents are killed in front of her and she's kidnapped and is going to be sold into slavery because she's the last Asian. That's really messed up, right? And she's supposed to be 7, super messed up. But it's a parallel to real life. There are actually people that happens to. And it's a really dark show because it's based on human truths, on actual events, on things that have happened throughout history and in some parts of the world are still happening. So to act in a show like that or be part of a show like that is really gratifying because you're also exposing people to these horrible things and bringing awareness, but emotionally it is so sad and it's so draining and exhausting.
Yeah, I think in general, anime has the ability, in this type of darker anime, really to stay in that darkness and actually tell the stories around the tragedy. Because I don't think we do that. We get sound bites of all the stuff that happens in our world, but we don't. And we hear about, some guy left his kid in a car for 8 hours and cooked the kid, or what, you know what I mean? Like crazy stuff, right? But we don't ever hear the stories around that, or what was going on, what was happening in life when that tragedy happened. So I think the darkness is like a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge as an actor and a challenge to the audience to stay in it and be a part of it and not push it away or hide in humor or hide in, so I think those are the kind of stories that I enjoy being a part of the most, because they're real and they show us who we are in many ways.
And I think Mikasa has one of the biggest lessons in the show, in the episode where we go into her backstory, and she starts saying that she's noticed all her life, but she just ignored it, that death is all around her. Death and darkness is all around everyone all the time. Like, this is a cruel world, but it is also a beautiful one. So you have the choice. Do you either hide from the dark parts of it, or do you, deal with them and live in the light as well? And
All right, thank you.
Yeah, great question. Thanks.
All right, I got 4 minutes for 5 questions.
Speed round. Go.
What's up?
If you could do like any lines, for
our characters?
Yeah.
Any of them? Like, I'll do young Armin, if I can get that high today.
That's right. I'd rather take a few lumps than brawl like a beast.
Woo! Here, you can have half.
Aww. This world is a cruel place, but it's also beautiful. I'm sorry, that was very good.
I don't know. I don't think we should.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you, if your characters were to cosplay, who would they cosplay?
Armin would cosplay Krista.
Like in anything?
Yeah, anything.
Oh, any show.
Any show.
Oh.
That's a
I already
hard
answered.
one.
We have to go fast.
Oh God, she would cosplay as a potato.
I'd like to think that Mikasa would go as Pikachu.
So wait, my character,
Your character is cosplaying as another character.
Can I cosplay another character I've done?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Bertolt would cosplay Tomoya from Clannad.
Nice.
Thank you.
Did you answer?
Yeah.
Hey guys. Not too long ago, Team 4-Star released a parody called Attack on Titan and Bridge. I want to know if either of you guys have watched it and how'd you guys react to it?
I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen a few things with Armin. I've seen some of the AOT shorts, like the one that's like called "Everybody Loves Armin" or something like that. I've seen that one. My favorite so far has been all the stuff that they've done with the drill sergeant character. He's hysterical.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot about it. And I was at a con with Brina last week, and she was like, "Oh my God, have you seen Attack on Titan and Bridge? It's so amazing, it's so amazing." And then we were gonna watch it, but I think we ended up falling asleep or something. I don't remember. But I want to see it. Yeah.
Hello. I want to know your opinions on the differences between the Japanese pronunciations of certain words and American pronunciations of certain words, like Shiganshina as Shiganshina or Maria as Maria.
Well, as far as I know, like in terms of like Maria, or going with Maria, or the way that we say like instead of Erwin Smith, we could have gone with or Irvin Smith. We could have gone with Erwin Schmidt, which would have been actually like as far as I know, would have been the really correct pronunciation, because most of these characters are all supposed to be of European descent, so like Germanic and other and stuff like that. But as far as like Shiganshina or how did you pronounce it?
Shiganshina.
Yeah, Shiganshina. I'm not sure on that. And like Mikasa, or like so a lot of people say Mikasa or Mikasa. Mikasa is actually the real pronunciation in Japanese because you stress the first syllable.
Yeah. I think it's really funny when people are like, you're totally saying that wrong. I saw that on this one time, and it is wrong, wrong, wrong. I cannot believe you messed that up. And it's like, really? Really? That's cute. Because we just spent 3 hours talking about if we're saying it right and exactly why and what the world would be like. And like, let's say, for example, you're the last Asian in the whole world, and your ma was a half-C, like Meezy. I don't know Japanesey. So, like...
Mike McFarland, actually, in researching for the show, or when he was about to start the show, thank you for the question. Were you Hanji or Sasha? Hanji? Awesome. Looks great. Hanji's also a great character. Okay, who saw last week's episode with Jessica Cavello voicing Hanji? Did she not rock that character?
She's
awesome.
That was so good.
So
wasn't it?
good. Yeah, but Mike McFarland had like a gigantic Word document completely dedicated to all of the information that he had gotten from both the Japanese studio, from the translators, from people in other parts of the Funimation, or that we actually outsourced information to. That just it had a complete encompassing of like, okay, Aaron's name, or just his regular name, like his last name Jaeger, obviously German descent, but the way they spell Aaron is actually of Turkish descent, and all these, and like there's so many different ways, and so many different ways that all these different character names are spelled and from where they're coming from. It was a huge challenge to be like, okay, how are we supposed to pronounce these?
And
like
sometimes
where
you just
they
have to make a choice.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike spent so much time and energy and like trying to and he was I remember him explaining to me like how much he was just trying to figure out what to do. So it definitely wasn't like a arbitrary decision. Like there was a lot of choice that went behind those pronunciations.
It's not a question, it's a request for Josh.
Okay.
As Armin, can you say, for the power of Grayskull, I have the power?
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!
There's your mashup for the day. All right. Need to let you guys in on a secret we've been keeping. And so how you guys know how you got this gig. There's a lot of people out here in uniform. I see lots of uniforms.
Yeah.
Who was here last year in uniform? Was in the big costume contest? There was a whole squad. Was it any of you guys? No, okay, it was the Saturday crew. They'll probably come out. Were you not one of them? No, you were. No, all right. Thank you for lying. All right, power of cosplay. You guys were coming out to the show in the uniforms, and the staff started to notice you. And so I sat down with the staff and I said, what is that show where all the little girls are dressed up as army men? It's like some weird Battlestar Galactica thing. And they went, oh, that's Attack on Titan. I said, we need to bring that cast in because those numbers are growing. So it was because you cosplayed it that we brought them in.
Awesome.
Thank you, cosplayers.